In this video, let's actually create some tickets. Well, this is a continuation video, so please watch our previous day video if you haven't watched it already. Let's go to documentation. Let's create an XRPL account from XRP faucet. I'll copy this secret. Okay. So let's fetch the account's current sequence number and also observe some of the things in this output. Command is account info. Okay. So couple of things to observe in this output. The first thing is, let's note down the current sequence number of this account, and then there is no ticket sequence number field in this output, and the owner count is currently 0. So we need to observe these three things. So let's go forward. Let's actually write the payload to create the ticket. So the transaction type is TicketCreate with TNC capital. TicketCreate. And then the account for which we need to set aside the sequence numbers, and the fees I'll hard code it to 10 drops. You need to fetch that from the network, and the current sequence number which is present in account underscore data dot sequence with S capital. And important field now, ticket count, the number of sequence numbers you want to set aside or reserve. Let's set aside 3 sequence numbers. Remember, ticket count takes an integer value between 1 and 250. Okay, so let's sign this transaction and submit this signed transaction field's value to the network. The command is submit tx blob signed transaction. Let's even output the result. So ticket create, account, 10 drops, fees, ticket count, 3 tickets. Okay, everything looks fine. Let me execute this. So it's successful. So this is the sequence number which is used up, and the next 3 sequence numbers, because there is a ticket count of 3, so the next 3 sequence numbers will be reserved. So let's execute this once again. So this got used up, and the next 3 sequence numbers are these, and after that the whatever sequence number comes is the current sequence number. Hope you understand this. Also note that each ticket count adds up to the owner count. Okay, so since we have this ticket count field here, since we have tickets on that account, let's make use of it and list all the reserved tickets or reserved sequence numbers. So if there is a field called ticket count, which means this account has some reserved sequence numbers, let's fetch those reserved sequence numbers using account underscore objects. So the command is account underscore objects. You can also use another field called type, which takes a value of ticket. That way it only fetches the ticket objects from the ledger. So let's output account underscore objects we have 3 tickets, and hence 3 tickets objects have been output here, but we want ticket sequence number, all these 3 ticket sequence numbers. So just loop through this array of objects and fetch this information. I'll just use map and just console log these sequence numbers, ticket sequence numbers. Let me copy the field name here, ticket sequence. Okay, that's it. Let me output and see if it only outputs these ticket sequence numbers. Yeah, and these are the exactly same ticket numbers we calculated earlier. Let's also output the current sequence number, which is present inside account underscore data field. So this is how we can programmatically know which are the sequence numbers we have reserved, or the ticket sequence numbers, and the current sequence number. You can check and match these things. These things exactly match. Okay, let's move forward. Now switch to index.ts file. Let's make a transaction using the same account. So let's first do it with current sequence number. So let me fetch the account secret. So this is the current sequence number. Let's use it up. I'll send it to some random R address. Let me send 10 XRP or whatever. So please do it along with me, which helps to understand. So this is successful. And as you can see, the next sequence number is here, 802, which means 801 is used up. So now the current sequence number is this one, which ends with 802, 802. So this is how you use current sequence number, and this is what we have been seeing in almost all the video tutorials so far. Now let's execute this token.ts file. And as you can see, the current sequence number is this one, 802. Now let's use a reserved sequence number or ticket sequence number. Any of this, let's choose the middle one. You can use any of it. Let's choose 799 and make a transaction using that. Let's switch to index.ts. Now the value of sequence is 0 because we are not using sequence number. And then we have another field called ticket sequence, where we need to enter the reserved sequence number. In our case, the sequence number which ends with 799. So let's use this and make a transaction. Let me clear this. We will be using this sequence number which has been reserved. Okay, let me make the same transaction with 10 XRP. So things to observe here. This is successful. The current sequence number remains the same because we did not use the current sequence number which ends with 802. It remains same, but we used up ticket sequence which ends with 799. This one. So now let me clear this screen and then run token.ts file. Now, things to observe, the current sequence number is the same. Now we only have two reserved sequence numbers. The one with 799 is used up. The ticket object which held this sequence number got deleted. Okay. So let me execute this once again. Now the ticket count reduced by 1, the owner count reduced by 1 as well. In the next video, let's see how we can delete the reserved sequence numbers by using no op code.